Good throw though, Patel. Straight and 4, 1 bounce. Good shot for Hard. 100 up for Bangladesh, 101 for 5 now. It's a good strong blow down the ground.
Yeah, very good shot, straight. It's cutting down percentages when you play so straight. No fielders down there, and it's a good example of using his feet.
On the wicket again, a bit slower from Jeetan Patel this time. Flipped it away. He'll still pick up a couple comfortably. Bangladesh working the way towards this target of 133 in the New Zealand 11. 31 required now from 38 deliveries. No run there. Well, Justin, thank you very much for joining us, and a great initiative today from New Zealand Cricket to get these 2 games underway, and good luck for the rest of the summer in your role as CEO.
Yeah, thanks very much, Simon, and you know, big thanks to Sky who've played their part. Broadcasting these games has been fantastic for the whole relief effort, so yeah, Sky should be very proud of what they've done today as well.
Thank you very much, Justin Vaughan. 104 for 5.
There's been some interesting running, Smithy, and I thought for a while there it looked like Bangladesh were just a bit panicky about what they were doing rather than cool, calm and collectedly knocking it round to run a ball and cantering home.
I think you sort of sense if you don't score a run off one ball, you've got to get one off the next somehow, and if you get a couple of dots in a row, people do tend to panic if they haven't played a lot of 2020 cricket. You know, Francis Payne just came over to me with a little glint in his eye and he said, Smithy, you realise Bangladesh have toured here now for 3 times and they've never won a game of any form. They could be on the brink. Historians love that stuff. Yeah, just top off 2007 for New Zealand, wouldn't it? In a bumper year. And on the subject of bumpers, I think Bangladesh, on the strength of how they've played them tonight, are going to cop a few in the next 2 to 3 weeks. If Styrus can sit you on your butt and hit you in the head, look out. Great shot. That is a perfect execution of a late cut. The ability to get your hands over the top of the ball. It wasn't that wide, but he waited and played it very late.
You watch how late Mayrab played the shot. He was given just an inkling of width. It wasn't that wide, but he just waited and just dropped the bat, eased the wrist into the stroke, along the carpet the whole way. Classic example of a square cut or a late square cut.
We're going to get plenty around there, I sense, because it's a run-saving delivery as much as a Yorker, it appears, particularly at the end of an innings. Seems bowlers much more confident about getting it through there than they are getting it onto the toes. 109 for 5. A little bit of bounce there. Here's another chance of a run out.
In terms of fast bowlers, if New Zealand cricket are banking this information away, that the Black Caps are banking it away, how are we going to attack Bangladesh? There's Martin to come back, and perhaps Gillespie, 2 bowlers with pace. Of course, Vittori will come back into the side. Certainly they've looked uncomfortable against the shorter ball. You don't want to overuse it, but certainly lengths will be into the wicket and operating around that chest height for the Bangladesh players throughout this summer and their tour in New Zealand.
Easy as you like, a single to end the over, and a little bit of frustration from Scott Styris for the first time today. In fact, it's 110 for 5 after 15. At 111 for 5.
Talking about the New Zealanders or the Black Caps may operate short of length against the Bangladeshis. That's part of touring.
A scamper. What a scamper. They do it well this time. In fact, they may put pressure on for an overthrow. Listen, it's as simple as this for me. New Zealand cricket, the batsmen have to get more damn runs. Now, Daniel Vittori hinted at that at times in Australia without really saying it open as that. But they have to get more runs to give the bowlers a chance to win them games. And we've seen it again here today. Another mediocre performance with the bat. 133 for 7 in their own conditions. Not good enough. It might not be good enough. It looks like it at this stage. That'll be a wide.
Well, none of the batsmen really took that opportunity coming off facing hard bowling attacks in South Africa and Australia, and took the opportunity here tonight to really, that's a well-controlled sweep through, to really get the Bangladesh bowlers by the scruff of the neck and stamp their authority on them. It was a great opportunity against lesser quality bowling, and no one took that opportunity. A couple of starts. Styris got a start. James Marshall got a start, but James Marshall was unlikely to be playing in the one-dayers.
Well, he's not. He won't be playing. He's not named. Simple as that. But some are. And some are. Include the likes of Ross Taylor, of Jamie Howe, of Peter Fulton, of Scott Styris, charged with the responsibility of giving themselves and their bowling side a chance to win them games. This New Zealand 11 haven't bowled badly tonight. Bangladesh have played with a lot of enterprise, a lot of spirit, a lot of invention. But mate, if you're not scoring enough runs to put pressure on, they're going to coast. And they'll do it in the one-dayers too.
But I think Peter Fulton has a big role to play there. John Bracewell has hinted that he may get that number 3 position and be allowed to stay there in terms of consistency of selection. And he's a player, okay, he's not a player that's going to go out there and smash it everywhere, but he's one has to stand up and use the opportunity to score lots of runs. And to do that, he looked horribly out of form and with lack of play in his innings today. He's got plenty of time to spend in the nets. How's the placement here? Now he's going to have to field one out on the cover-point boundary. He does well. But he's got a lot of work to do between now and the Boxing Day one-dayer to try to get some form, to try to hit plenty of balls. He could be spending his Christmas Day in the nets.
Well, he could. I think they will venture down to Eden Park at some point, the Black Caps. I'm sure that they'll have call of practice maybe for the morning. That's gone. A long, long way. A long way. And that may well be the defining blow that sinks the New Zealand 11. 16 overs gone here in Hamilton. It's 124 for 5.
Good strike. Really good strike. Had the length to do it. Targeted that boundary, middled it, and hit it a country mile.
What a great shot coming out of the moon. What a wonderful camera shot that coming out of the moon like that. Came off the bat at 130 kilometres per hour. Went a long way and was dropped in the deep.
The batsmen came together in the middle of the pitch there. They punched. There was a glove punch, and you just saw it that you said it could have been the shot and said, hey, we've got this. And I think in the batsman's mind, it was a shot that said, I think that could get us home.
Oh, they're coasting now. 10 from 24, they'll do it with ease. No problem whatsoever. Ross Taylor, from my memory, and that may well have been him that threw that overthrow there. But Ross Taylor, for me, scored his 200s at number 3. Am I right or am I wrong? Didn't he come in at number 3? Scored 2 one-day international hundreds batting at 3. Well, what's wrong with him batting at 3? Why does he have to now find a new role at number 5?
I think they feel with his technique that batting at 5, protecting him from the swinging ball. Starrisville's the bouncer, and the batsman just shakes his head and says, that's not going to bother me this time. I think the thinking with Taylor is that he does tend to have a high-risk sort of technique, and that by protecting him a little bit from the swinging ball, the new ball, it may allow him to be more consistent. But if he did score those runs at 3, yeah, why didn't he stay there? Well, he's not.
Well, listen, I mean, the way they're batting at the top of the order, he's in early anyway. The best chance Taylor's got to score a big score is to use the power play overs to his advantage. There's 20 of them, and that's gone for 4. Beautiful timing and placement. He got both his hundreds at number 3. I've just had it confirmed. Oh, goodness me, how many number 3s have we had score hundreds in the last 12 months? Not many. So my suggestion is to get him back at number 3 against Bangladesh, get him some confidence to use the power play overs to his best advantage, where he can hit the ball hard and use the fact that they can only have a certain amount of players out. That is where I would use Ross Taylor, and then ease him into the English series to do the same thing. Give him a job to do. Gone again. That's one bounce for. Not quite the end result, but Jamie Siddons, yes, take a bow. You're going to chalk one in the column here for Bangladesh. It's not against the full New Zealand side, but it's your first win on tour as such. And yes, you have a chance to have a little smile to yourself and take some confidence to Eden Park.
Well, it's a New Zealand side batting-wise who have let themselves down. It's a batting team that should be very similar. You bring McCullum in, of course. But they've out-batted New Zealand here today. And that's where this New Zealand 11 is probably at its strongest. Scores are tied.
That's out, caught behind, so he can't get the job done. Styris gets a wicket, but it's too late for the New Zealand 11. This has been a fine little knock. Farhad has gone for 31, but he has played a little cameo here to get his side home, or all but home. Thick outside edge, and he didn't even bother to look back. He knew that the end result was him walking back, but he'll get a good round of applause, and so he should. They've got some talent, these boys. Farhad Reza leaves at 31. It's 133 for 6. Scores tied.
Yeah, he did a good job. He got them all back. He needed someone to play a little cameo. He was the one that did it. Okay, gets out right when he would have liked to carry his bat. Out the edge. Just going back to batting positions, Smithy, I mean, whoever bats wherever, they've got to be consistent. They want to hold that position, they must show consistency, and that's an area that New Zealand have let themselves down over the last wee while, time and time again. Players who are capable, we've seen them do great stuff against good opposition, but not enough. That's the issue for me. The good stuff is not coming out anywhere near as much as it should be.
Fair enough. We shall see what happens on the 26th. In just 3 days' time, we reconvene here live on Sky Sport 1. But Bangladesh, 133 for 6. They need 1 to win. 2 slips in place. And the little keeper's going to push, run and win the game for Bangladesh. They don't have that many at international level, but they've scored 1 tonight, and boy oh boy are their fans happy. So they should be. They've given them a little Christmas present early on in the piece, and I'm sure for all those people suffering back in Bangladesh, this is a win that means a little bit as well. Their first ever win of any type in New Zealand. It's their 3rd tour, and they've just signalled a little bit to New Zealand cricketing public and to the New Zealand players that there'll be no pushover.
Well, it's not a knockout blow, but it's definitely a jab that has landed New Zealand cricket right between the eyes. They've beaten, they haven't beaten the Black Caps here tonight, but they've beaten the New Zealand side, and a very good New Zealand side, without too much personnel missing. They will grow in confidence. It's Bangladesh who come here tonight in Hamilton and take the points home in terms of confidence. They needed it. They'd had 3 losses leading up into this. They got into their first international fixture, and they've taken the opportunity.
Marab has left a not out 21, and Mushfika 1 ball 1 run. Players line up and shake hands, but the Cyclone relief match number 2 has been Bad result for the New Zealand 11, but a beauty for Bangladesh. They'll head to Eden Park with some confidence for that first one-dayer. They win by 4 wickets.